Hey Ronnie, how are you? Everyone, thanks for coming to the live stream. Although I think there's only a couple people here at the moment. Give me a second here too. I'm just kind of trying something. I got a new phone, so I'm curious as to how these streams are working on the phone. I actually just did a small test stream from the phone, live streaming from the phone, which actually worked way better. Hey, Dragon Lord, how are you? Which actually worked way better than the laptop, which I'm on. But I'm streaming from the laptop because I wasn't able to figure out how to the scheduled. Hey, Kaya, make the scheduled live stream happen from the phone. But the next one will be from the phone because it's a better quality. Hey, Kaya, that's enough. That's enough. So, Barkety Bark is back. Barkety McBarker. Kaya, psst, hey, come on, Pop. She was just laying down all nice and quiet, too. Okay, so this is a continuation of Leyenda. I'm good, Ronnie. How's things with you? And Dragon Lord, thanks so much for saying hi. So what we're doing is last week we started a live stream on Leyenda, the Spanish guitar piece by Isaac Albanez. I'm not totally sure how his name is said. Here she is. You want to say hi? Okay, wait. Watch. Okay, here. Here's the dog. Hi, Kaya. You got to look the other way, though. How do we get her to look the other way? Somebody say something to her. Well, this is Kaya. She's the one who, when I first did my live stream 3 weeks ago, interrupted it so bad it was pretty much impossible. And then 2 weeks ago, well, I missed last week, so the week before, I had a bone for her, hoping the bone was going to keep her busy, but that didn't work. And then, oh wait, so I must have done 3, because one of them she ended up kind of sleeping through, so that was really cool. So the fingers crossed here that will happen today here too, is that she'll go lay back down, and we can do the live stream without being interrupted constantly. But this is Kaya. She just turned a year. I'm just going to hang out here for a moment. Interrupt the stream. Okay, Pup. She doesn't know. Doesn't know what I'm talking about. I got to do a live stream, Pup. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for staying hi. Hi. Hello. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, so let's do a quick review of what we did last time. Oh, here's the link. Let me put the link in the chat for anybody who needs the link. There it is. There it is. There it is. Grab the link. Dave, glad you made it in. Saying hi to the pup. She's, oh shoot, wandered away with a shoe. One moment. She will chew that shoe to pieces. Kaya, that's not yours. Nope. Kaya, stop, stop. Thank you. Got it back. No worries. Okay, no worries. Yeah, I was outside playing with her hard too, hoping that she would just come in and lay down. But yeah, what's up, Kaya? Go lay down. It's like she knows. She can't really know, but okay. So let's go over the main theme here. This little 6-note pattern that repeats 3 times. And then we'll start. So this is from the last one, from the last stream. If you were with us, you've already learned this, but a quick review. I'm starting with A. Don't worry about don't worry about reading music when you click that link. The notes are written underneath it. This A is on the 7th fret, so you can see the nut there. 1, 2, 3. I don't have a 3rd fret dot. I have a 5th fret dot, a 7th fret dot. So I'm on the 4th string, which is your D string. E, B, G, D. I'm on the 4th fret, gives me an A. So I'm playing the A to an E, which is actually a power chord. So the E is the 9th fret of your 3rd string, of your G string. A and an E, perfect 5th apart. Bum, 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 bum. Sounds like Star Wars, call it perfect 5th. So anyway, we go from A to E, half step higher to F with the pinky. So on the 10th fret of that same string. Then back to D, which is the 7th fret of that 3rd string. So the A, then E on the 7th, F on the 8th, oh sorry, E on the 9th, F on the 10th, D on the 7th. And again, grabbing that link and playing along with that is easier. Okay, A, E, F, D. So remember we said it was only 6 notes, so that's 4 of them. Then we're going to go back to the E on the 9th fret. So basically, of the 5 notes we've learned, there's 6 notes altogether in this pattern, 4 of them were on the 3rd string. So you had the A, was starting on that 4th string, 7th fret, then just the 3rd string, 9 to 10, 7, back to 9. E, F, D, E. Last note is C, the pinky on the 10th fret. And that can be a little tricky to get that pinky in there playing that properly, but that's the pattern. We're going to play it all just with the thumb here in the right hand. Okay, so that measure is 6 notes. We do that 3 times. Each one of those called a measure because we're playing in 3/4. And they're 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Okay, so here's the 4th measure. So do that 3 times. Then here's what we're going to do. We're going to go B on the 9th fret of that 4th string, C with the pinky, then D with the 1st finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. B, C, D, and we're going to do that twice. B, C, D, B, C, D. If you put that all on the 4th string, it would just be that. 9, 10, 12. B, C, D, B, C, D. But because we're trying to stay in 7th position, we're going B with the 3rd finger, C with the pinky, D with the 1st finger on the 3rd string. So 4th string for B and C, D on the 3rd string. So I know that seems a little harder than this, but it keeps us in this position. That's it. So we have 1, measure 2, measure 3. Now the new thing, B, C, D, B, C, D, A, E, F, D. Again, A, E, F. Again, A. You end on that C, and then you go right to B for B, C, D, B, C, D, A, B, B, A, A, B, B, A, B, C, D, B, C, D, A. So anyway, that's what we're trying to get good at with just the thumb playing all those notes. And then to make it a little more fun, we're going to stick these open E's in between it. Oh, and over the Thanksgiving weekend, I was with my dad, and my dad had a version that had them playing the A, E, F, D, E, C. Oh, here. That's kind of neat too. So it's the same thing an octave lower. So open A, E on the second fret of your D string, F right beside it, open D, E the second fret, C, third fret of the A string. And again, we would just use all the thumb. But since the page has us doing it in seventh, I think that's where we'll kind of stick. Okay, so now let's add these open E's. So basically all we're doing is we're sticking one open E in between each of these notes. So you know how we went A, then to E, then to F, then to D. So now I'm going to go A, open E, that E with my third, open E, F, D, E, C. So I'm basically just playing this open E in between each of those notes. Now I'm going back and forth between my thumb and my index. I could also go thumb and middle and just practice that. But where we would really like to get to is to alternate those open E's between index and middle. So basically, I'm just going to use my open E string here for a moment. This is what I did last week too. Open E, index, open E with my thumb again. This is open E on the high string too, so they're both open E's, but I should say low E with the thumb, index, low E with the thumb, middle, and repeat that. So thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle. We gotta get those, allow the fingers, the muscles in these fingers here to get used to going back and forth like that. It takes a while for that to get fast and feel very steady. And then I had mentioned last week we could potentially practice different scales on this low E string while we're practicing this, like so that's just an E major scale going open E, F sharp on the second, G sharp on the fourth, A on the fifth, B on the seventh, C sharp on the ninth, D sharp on the 11th, E. Really need new strings. I say that a lot when I do these streams. And then we could use, like, you could use different scales. So if people know kind of my, the method that I have online at musiclearning.com and know how I teach them, I'm a big fan of learning the fretboard and understanding music theory. Tanya, you made it in. I am doing good. Oh, you're just taking a lunch break. Yeah. Oh, and good news is I just got a new phone and the quality is way better. I'm not using it. I'm still using the laptop, but I'm going to try streaming from the phone. So, and I'm actually going to try to do more streams than one a week, and just make them possibly shorter, maybe only 20 minutes or whatever, and getting kind of right to the point, but answering people's questions, of course. But awesome, Tanya. I'm good. How are you? I hope you're good. No, you may have to go back to work before you have a chance to answer that. But anyway, so coming back to this, so I'm a big fan of like learning scales on a string, just basically so visually we can see how the notes climb up the fretboard. Obviously, learning scales this way is fairly important too for efficiency and whatnot, but going across the string is really well too. So I used an E major, again, just to review that really quick. That was open E, F sharp on the 2nd fret, G sharp on the 4th, A on the 5th, B on the 7th, C sharp on the 9th, D sharp on the 11th, E on the 12th. E minor, if you wanted, would be E, F sharp still on the 2nd, so they start the same way, but then G natural, 3rd fret, A on the 5th, B on the 7th, C on the 8th. So far we had a G instead of G sharp, and we had a C on the 8th instead of C sharp on the 9th, and then D on the 10th instead of D sharp on the 11th, and then E. So hope that wasn't too confusing, but it basically looks like this. Open E, F sharp on the 2nd, G on the 3rd, A on the 5th, B on the 7th, C on the 8th, D on the 10th, E. And now we have an E minor scale. Anyway, those are just good ways to practice this finger picking and not get so bored. And obviously, because if you just keep playing this over and over, it can get pretty hard on the head, especially if you're just trying to really concentrate on that. So make up your own exercises using scales. You're learning the fretboard, you're working on the finger picking. Okay, so let's go do I want to do one more part of this stream, and then we'll continue next week. Or actually, I'll have to think about how I want to do that, but because I want to try streaming from the phone, so I'm probably going to do like a test stream, maybe even later today, just to test it. We'll see. Okay, so we said A, E, F 3 times. And then we had the B, C, D twice. Like, it's one measure, but you do B, open E in between these again. That part's a little tricky. Just as far as getting those fingers to move. So if you're trying that and you think, oh boy, that's a lot harder than it looks, it is a little bit tricky. Even though on the surface it seems like it should be pretty simple. B, C, D, just 3 notes being repeated. But with the open E, I find that can cause a lot of people a bit of trick. Okay, then we go back to the main theme. We do 3 more measures again, so 3 times again. 1. Geez, 1, 2, 3. Let's see his last note. Now we have another measure that's going to transition us into a variation on the main theme. This time we're going to go B. So that looks the same. That starts. No, I'm sorry. It's going to start on D. D, the 7th fret of your 3rd string, to B, 9th fret of your 4th string. Sorry. So again, if you have the page open in front of you, this is a lot easier because you can see these notes on the fretboard I'm talking about. So the D. Oh, actually, I guess the B is not there. The B would be right beside the C. It's the 7th fret. 9th fret, sorry, 9th fret of your D string. Then we go to the 10th fret for C, then to A, 7th fret of that same string. So we went D, 7th fret of your 3rd string, B, 9th fret of your 4th string, half step higher to C with the pinky, so the 10th fret of that 4th string, back to the 7th fret of the 4th string. 4 notes, we only need 2 more. Then we're going to go G, 10th fret of your A strings. This is the first time we've moved to the A string. Then we're going to come back a whole step with the 2nd finger, 8th fret of that A string, 5th string, for an F, G, F. So we had D, B, C, A, G, F. And that is the next little part. Eric, how are you? Good to see you, or hear you. Okay, so D, B, C, A, G, F. And we put the open E in between those. And again, if I'm even stumbling a little bit there. If you find yourself stumbling between the index and middle and it's getting all mixed up, just go thumb index. Just do it all thumb index until you get this hand down, or thumb middle. Ideally, we want to do the same thing we were doing before, though, where we go thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, if we can. That's where we're headed eventually. Okay, so one last little review of that, and then that takes us to this part, which actually is very similar to the main theme, with really just 2 notes different, the first and the last, the first and the sixth. Other than that, it's the same thing. So I'll show you a really easy way to keep track of it. But let's go back over this second little transition. So we're starting on D, 7th fret of your 3rd string. Then we're going to B, 9th fret of your 4th string. Half step higher with the pinky to the 10th fret, same string, 4th string. Back to the 7th fret of that same string for an A. Now the 10th fret of your 5th string, 8th fret of your 5th string to give us a G, F. So with the open E's. That's it. So the main theme, which we learned last week, remember I just played it 3 times, right? This would be it once. That's it, right? Then, but we end up playing it 3 times. Then we have this little transition, the first transition, which was just D, B, C, D, B, C. So D, B, C, D, B, C. Same thing twice. Then we go back to the main theme again, 3 times again, 2, 3. There's that last C note, right? Ending the main riff, or main theme. Then we're going to go D. This is the part we just learned. B, C, A, G, F, taking us to the new part. Cool. So let's learn the second theme, and then that gives us the main, what I would probably call the A section or whatever of this piece of music. And then the last stream will go, the next stream, I guess I should say. Oh, I'm out of tune. We'll try the next part. We'll see how far we get on that. Okay, so here's what's happening with this. The only thing that's different, instead of starting on A on the 7th fret, you're going to start on E, 7th fret of the 5th string. So instead of the 7th fret of your 4th string for an A, you're starting on the 7th fret of your 5th string for an E. Now we're going to jump to that same E we went to in the main theme. So this time you have to skip a string because you're going from the 5th string to the 3rd string. But then to F the same way, D the same way, back to the E the same way. So these 3 are the exact same as the main theme. The only difference, instead of starting on A here on the 7th fret of your 4th string, you're starting on E, the 7th fret of your 5th string. And then remember how I said the last note was also different? So instead of playing C, we're going to play B, which is the 7th fret of the 4th string. Now here's the only thing I'm doing a little bit weird. I don't really want to move my 3rd finger because it's the same fret from that 3rd string to the 4th string. That's going to be hard to do fast. I guess we could. But I kind of want to go my 3rd finger, then my 2nd finger on that B, even though they're both on the 9th fret. Then I have a bit of a stretch to get back to repeat, because that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 1, 1. Make sense? Kind of, hopefully. So it's the same theme. It just, the starting note is this E on the 7th fret of your 5th string versus the A instead of A. And then the last note, which would normally have been a C, 10th fret of your 4th string, is a B, the 9th fret of your 4th string. Now, how it gets back to the main theme, we're going to save. So I think we're going to stop there if there's no questions. And yeah, and like I said, I'm actually, because I just figured I think a better way to stream, I think I may possibly just restream this same stream with my phone in maybe even a half hour, I'm not sure. And then if so, I'll probably delete this one. But musiclearning.com is the site. There's a link in the description to take you to this page. And then, yeah, that's it. Say thanks, as always, for watching. And and we talked about, it is tough. One of the tricky parts of this, playing this piece, is for these 2 open E's not to become this loud, annoying drone tone. So the trick is trying to keep this melody sticking out and controlling those. It takes quite a bit of time. You just have to kind of focus on trying to play these notes really loud and these open E's kind of quiet. And you can exaggerate them a bit. It's tricky though. It's a hard one. That takes a lot of time. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'll end it there. As always, thanks so much for watching. musiclearning.com is the site. There is a link in the description to take you to the information that goes with this page. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one, which, well, next Wednesday at 1 for sure. That's Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'm going to do a few streams, I think, in between now and Wednesday, so I can kind of get the feel for using the phone for the streams instead of the laptop. So anyway, thanks as always for watching, and we'll see you in a week.